Hi, Richard Petrie here, and you've booked a call or an application with Darren to talk about the Petrie method program. And I think seeing you booked that, it's only fair to give you a run through on what you should expect and what type of things that the Petrie method covers for those who get in. So let's have a look at this quadrant here at the moment. And I just want you to imagine this is low income, and at the top here we've got high income. Okay, this is income you would take from your accounting practice. And then the other big factor that people talk about is workload. All right, so this would be low workload down this end and obviously high workload up this end. Right, so if I was to say, how would you rate your income out of 10? Right, 10 being extremely high compared to the top earners in the industry, where would you rate yourself? Now, if you rated yourself, let's say 4, you're about 4 out of 10 happy with your income. And then we go workload. And how do you rate your workload? And you might go, well, I'm working pretty hard. 8 out of 10. Okay. The other one we can look at, and it doesn't fit on the quadrant because we can only get two sort of axes on the quadrant. But the other one I'd be interested in is your client base. What sort of client base do you have, or how happy are you with your client mix? Let's call it the client mix. I'm talking about low fee clients to high fee clients. So a lot of people tell me, a lot of accountants say, I've got too many low fee clients. So if I had too many low fee clients, I might say, well, give me a rating for your client base as to where it is now compared to where you want it to be. And you might say, well, too many low fee clients, I'm going to give it a 3. But anyway, let's take these ones up here and plot them on the chart. So if someone was, my workload is 8 out of 10. So that would be about there, and my income is 4 out of 10. So that would put me 4 out of 10 and 8 out of 10. That would put me here, right? Okay, so we're in this quadrant. Now that quadrant there, that means you're working really hard, but you're not really earning a lot, right? You're not earning a lot. And I'm going to name these. I'm going to call that a slave, right? So you're not earning the income. Now, if you're earning decent income and working really hard as well, we'll call that one a hamster. So you get fed every month. I mean, you're getting fed every single day, but you're having to work for it. That hamster wheel is rolling, rolling, rolling. If you're doing, I'm not earning much income, but I am not doing much work either, well, then you're really only working part-time. And obviously this is the quadrant that you're probably most interested in. And this is where you're not working super hard. You might be, 5 out of 10 or 4 out of 10, but you are earning really good money. This is obviously the dream place to be. And I would call these ones Mavericks, right? Now, the reason I'd call them Mavericks is because they're kind of rule breakers. They break the industry norms, is what a Maverick does. And most accountants, I would say, they work really hard. Most accountants fit somewhere in these two boxes, right? So if you're in either of these two boxes, obviously the goal is to move. Well, I assume it would be. So if you're interested in the Petrie method, then you'd be interested in this, okay? So let's look at it this way, and I'm going to run you through. Here's a little person there, and they're 4 out of, maybe these are their numbers here, okay? And where do you want your numbers to get to? Well, I would like my income, my target, I want to get my income up to 8 out of 10. And you would define what is 8 out of 10 for you, right? Is it 200,000? Is it 300? Is it 400? Is it 60? It's up to you. What is 8 out of 10 for your income? Your workload, I want to get my workload down to, it'd be nice to get down to 4 out of 10. Something like that would be great, right? And I'd like to get my client mix up to 8 out of 10, maybe 50%, compliance only clients, and maybe 50% doing advisory. That might be a nice mix. You would have to define that. Okay, so here's where I am now, down the bottom here. Here's where I want to be. Up here, I want to move my business to this thing here. Right, what are we going to do? Okay, so the Petrie method is about making 8 maneuvers, right? 8 maneuvers, and I'm going to list them here. M-A-V-E-R-I-C-K. M.A.V.E.R.I.C.K, which spells Maverick. Okay, so these are the steps you're going to use to get from where you are now up to here. Be nice if that K was a little closer to the mark. It would look like as soon as you get to there, you go to there. Right. So what do each of them stand for? First one is mindset. What I find is that people over here and even in the hamster quadrant, you have a humble servant mindset. So it's all about pleasing the client. You're pleasers. And that's kind of good because it means you do a great job. But what it does also mean is that you end up giving a whole lot of work away for free and all that. So the first thing we have to do is we have to change your mindset so that you think like a high value accountant, right? If you're going to be a high value accountant, if you're going to be a maverick, then you've got to think like a maverick. And mavericks think differently from hamsters and slaves, all right? So the next thing we're going to do that you're going to need to do if you're going to make things life easier is automation. Now, we're not going to automate your whole business. You've probably done Xero and all sorts of things like that. But certainly your marketing, we can automate, right? So the second thing we're going to do, not necessarily in this order, but the second thing will be to deploy a CRM system preloaded with all the things you need to run this system, okay? Next one, V means value, stands for value. And what you're going to have to do here, or value packages, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to load up, and we're going to look to take you away. Packages are like bundles of things where people are given options. Now, the traditional way that our accountants promote their services, they do this great big list of services that they're going to run and say, would you know, which of these would you like? Kind of like a menu. What we're going to do, or what you're going to do, is you're going to move from being an expense. We want to move you from being an expense into being an investment, right? And to do that, you're going to have to learn how to communicate your value, and you're going to have to learn how to create value packages, and we're going to teach you to do that. Everything changes when you start communicating value. Now, a big example of that would be you will then ask clients when you're presenting packages to them, you'll be presenting them in a way where you'll be saying which of these outcomes would you like, as opposed to which of these services do you want from me? Which of these outcomes would you like? Would you like this outcome, or this outcome? They can pick. Can you see the difference there? Which outcome would you like? So you're going to be very outcome focused, and that's, one of the key things you're going to do when you're creating your value packages. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to end non-billable time. It's getting a bit busy here. I really wish I'd spread it out, but stick with me here. So we're going to end non-billable time. Now, the reason there is a lot of non-billable time is often two reasons. One is fear. I don't like talking about fees, so you avoid them, or your staff do. They make excuses and go this and that to you, and you go, okay. Because no one wants to have a conversation with a client about the out-of-scope work that they did 2 months ago, which hasn't been billed, and fear stops you from having that, right? We're going to eliminate that. I'll show you how to get over that. The second reason that people do a lot of non-billable work is their letters of engagement are often have a lot of grey zones, right? So we're going to show you how to avoid grey zones and make it completely black and white, which gives anytime anything's out of scope, it's going to be crystal clear and you're going to be able to bill for it. So end non-billable work. Next one, R stands for referrals. Now, the best way to build any business in the world is referrals. It's probably how you're getting most of your clients now anyway, so that you know that referrals work. When we grew Darren's business right way, we did it through advertising, and it worked. I mean, they grew very fast over a period of time, but it's expensive. It requires Darren, and he had a staff member, and I was a consultant sort of working with them. There was 3 of us working on their marketing. Now, and Darren was spending about $20,000 a month, right? So advertising is doable, but referrals, I would never do it that way ever again, because we've tried it all. Facebook, LinkedIn, You can make it work, but it's a lot of work. Referral systems is the natural way, well, referrals, but putting in place for systems, referrals is the natural way for someone to hire an accountant, and an architect, and any professional service, right? It's word of mouth. So why would we go away from that? Okay, next one is we're going to increase the base. And what I mean there is increase the base. We're going to raise the floor. So your bottom level compliance clients are going to need a lift up in terms of their fees, right? Now, once again, it comes back to value. So Darren has written something called a lotto letter, and he'll explain that when you have this meeting. But increasing fees for your low-end clients, very important. I'm just going to move these two up to give myself more room. Pardon me while I sort this out. Okay. Next one, the C is client control. This is the next maneuver you're going to roll. It's number 7, client control. You can't have the inmates running the asylum, right? So I'm going to show you how to take control of your clients and make sure they follow your rules, right? Which means you have to set up the rules in advance, right? So we have a thing called a game plan, which we give to clients. Clients sign off on it. They agree with it up first. We give it to you. It's cut and paste. You can adapt to however you like, but it's a magnificent piece for controlling clients. Your business is going to work a lot better when you are dictating how the business is going to be run, because then you can dictate efficiency. When the clients are constantly coming to you, then it doesn't tend to work. So you're going to get client control on all this thing. That'll help to reduce your workload. A lot of these things reduce the workload, and some of them help you increase your fees. The final one is K. K stands for kick out the non-profitable clients. Right, so the final thing we're going to do is we're going to do a review, and we're going to find out who's profitable and not profitable. Those who are not profitable, and I'm talking about the clients who probably aren't paying overly high fees, but are demanding a lot of things and doing a lot of out-of-scope work and expecting you to do it for free. Maybe they're profitable when you sign the letter of engagement, but by the time you've done all the out-of-scope work, they become unprofitable, right? So we're either going to upgrade them into a higher value base package, or we're gonna elegantly move them out. Now, two things happen when you kind of sack the bottom 5% of your clients. One thing is your profits go up because those clients are almost invariably costing you money. The other one is you free up a lot of time. You might free up 10 to 20% of your time with these people gone. All right, so these are the things. MAVERICK is the acronym. When you go through all this, this is the Petrie method. These steps here. The Petrie method will turn you from being over here, or over here, and turn you into a maverick. Now, you're not that much of a maverick. You're not that much, but what you are doing is you are breaking industry norms, because it is not normal to have an accounting practice where you're over here, really. You have to break the norms. So anyone who's over there is kind of breaking industry norms. Industry norms is to work incredibly hard and get paid okay for it, right? We're looking to work moderately hard as you want to work, and get very well paid for it. So that's a summary of being a maverick and going through the Petrie method. Those are the steps we go through. And that's it. So Darren will take you through this in greater detail and answer any questions you want when you have the application call with him. And I hope to meet you in the sessions.